Square Enix's E3 2021 was largely regarded as disappointing. We were hoping for some Final Fantasy XVI to sink our teeth into, but all we got was a mouthful of Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, and we got the real Slim Shady. And now we are headed into Tokyo Game Show 2021, and Square Enix has just announced they'll be doing a 50-minute press conference for the show, which probably means 45 minutes of Guardians of the Galaxy and 5 minutes of semi-relevant information. Well, you can call me Clown Strife because I'm going to set my expectations high just so I can be disappointed. These are my predictions for Tokyo Game Show 2021 with Square Enix. First and foremost, Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. Now this game is actually confirmed for Square Enix's lineup at TGS, so we know for a fact that we are going to be seeing a new trailer for the game. We'll likely be seeing an updated version of this game in the showcase. And while the goal of the demo was to get feedback on gameplay, the majority of fan criticisms came from everything else. The incredibly off-putting character designs, the really dull visual aesthetic, something about killing chaos, and many other things alike. Though we've only seen a small glimpse of the game, and there is certainly much more to be shown. Perhaps this is exactly what's needed to win the public opinion back over into the game's favor. And maybe we will more deeply grasp the concept when we have seen more. This game is literally slated for next year, and we will definitely be seeing more of it at TGS. Oh, and then there's codename Rectangle Tactics. Oh, I'm sorry, Project Triangle Strategy. Now this game from Square is also confirmed for TGS. And that's good because after the demo drop, this game literally disappeared off the face of the planet. And I hope to God that it receives a better name when it's officially revealed. With all the branching paths and the amount of player choice that this game offers, I feel confident this will end up being a cult classic. Then of course, there's the most anticipated Final Fantasy experience of the year, Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. Shadowbringers was the highest rated Final Fantasy game in about 2 decades, and it elevated Final Fantasy XIV to my favorite Final Fantasy game and story of all time. FF14 is confirmed for TGS, and so we are more than likely getting the final trailer for Endwalker, and maybe some brand new gameplay footage of Reaper and Sage at work. The future has never looked brighter for Final Fantasy XIV, and things are pretty much only going to get better from here. Provided that the servers don't crash and burn, we can only hope. And then there's Final Fantasy VII Remake 2. I don't think that Remake 2 is coming here, but I do know that it's going to be announced and is coming a lot sooner than most people probably think. Final Fantasy VII Remake 2 has been in development since around 2018, sharing a parallel development with the first game. And because of this, I believe a 2022 release date is entirely possible. At the very least, I do actually expect an announcement in the coming months. And even though this is a 50-minute presentation with plenty of things to show, and not show, I don't think it will be shown here, but I do think that if it is, we'll probably just get a logo and maybe a vague more details coming soon. And by more details coming soon, it'll probably say something like more details to come in 2022 and then just leave you on that cliffhanger for months. You guys know how Square works. It's also worth noting that Final Fantasy VII The First Soldier is slated to be at this year's TGS. We honestly haven't heard much about that game since the beta, and honestly, I'm really looking forward to it. Finally, a Final Fantasy VII spin-off that is not going to do tremendous amounts of retcons and ultimately dilute the original game's narrative. And while it's not popular to say, I think it could be the coolest FF7 spin-off yet. A lot of people hate the idea of a battle royale, but also unironically love Dirge of Cerberus. Figure that one out. And then there's Final Fantasy XVI. This one is kind of complicated. Naoki Yoshida said that Square Enix wanted him to show something off at TGS. However, Yoshida said that he does not think that the game will be ready to show off for TGS. He didn't unconfirm it, but he said that you should lower your expectations for it being there. In other words, there's still some possibility that it could show up. Look, when I said we were going to look like clowns, I was not kidding. We are going to look like clowns. Again, given Yoshida's statement and his uncertainty, I don't think it will happen here, but honestly, there's a 10% chance of it happening anyway. For as straightforward and honest of a guy that Naoki Yoshida is, he's also a complete troll. I mean, just weeks before Final Fantasy XVI was announced, Yoshida was talking about how annoyed he was by the rumors that he was involved with the project, denied having anything to do with it, and also asked people to stop spreading the rumors. Also that a few weeks later, it could be revealed that he was in fact the producer of the game this whole time. So again, who can say for sure? With all that said, Ultima, what are your Square Enix predictions for TGS 2021? Let me know in the comments below. Shout out to Patron Tune Day and the rest of the Ultima community.